Well, I was brought here today to speak about goals, and I'm so glad that you came in. And I would like to just, for us to consider for a moment, that acronym SMART that you have heard before for goals. You know, goals need to be set up in a smart way. And we've read this over and over. And yet today I would like us to consider a different way to see that acronym. I would like us to look at, to remember the acronym, but to remember it in a different light. You know, the word S for goal talks about being synergistic. When we talk about synergy, we're talking about cooperation. We're talking about togetherness. Whatever you have set aside as your goal, whatever idea, divine idea you have received and you have conceived and you have allowed to become your goal, must be synergistic, must be a cooperative effort between you and God, and between you and humankind, and between you and you. Goals that are antagonistic have less of a chance to come to fruition. The other thing I would like you to consider when you think about letter S is that a good goal is supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be something that really excites you, that really inspires you to, it's a growth process. And beyond that, I would like you to remember at all times that when your goals are spirit-based, they have much better chances of coming to pass. Spirit-based goals mean any and all the attributes of God. So spirit-based is love, it's peace, it is fulfillment, it is satisfaction, it's harmony. What else could be spirit-based? Patient. So when your goal has that type of foundation, you are more empowered to get it to come for you. Then the letter M, I would like you to consider, I know that normally it is specific, letter S is for specific, and letter M is for measurable. Well, go ahead and measure all you want. But it's not about how many repetitions of something you do or do not do. It's about it being meaningful in order for you to sustain the impulse to not go towards your goal. It has to be meaningful. And it has to be meaningful in a way to you in which you realize that it motivates you. It is so important what you're doing that it actually motivates you to continue on. The dream itself motivates you. The goal itself motivates you. You're excited about that. And it's going to be magical. It's going to be magical for you. You have to see that magic. You have to feel that essence of whatever goodness that goal will bring. And you have to feel it inside of you. It's not just dreaming, oh, maybe someday. It's like, I feel it. It has to be magical already in your heart. And so the letter A normally stands for achievable. Well, that makes sense still. If if your goal is to lose 50 pounds, you can't put 1 week because that's not achievable. Okay, so it has to be realistic and achievable. And I would like you to consider that more than achievable, I want it to be anchored in God. I want it to be anchored in God. And you anchor things in God by affirming when things, because life is all about this ebb and flow, you know. Things come in and things leave. Things get better, things get worse. Sometimes we feel full, sometimes we feel empty. Sometimes we feel loved, sometimes we feel unloved. Isn't that what life is about? It's this give and take and go and come, right? But we have to stay anchored in God. And I like the surf. You know, when you are in like in a place in the ocean where the water just hits the wave, just hits the sand, and then it comes back and then hits again. And you stand there, and somehow when the waves hit you on the sand, you tend to sink into the sand, isn't it? You tend to, because the ebb and flow kind of moves the sand from underneath you, and then you sort of kind of, your feet get hidden from you. You've never done this? Oh, good. It's fun. We live here on the beach, you know. Go check it out. And that's the kind of thing I think of when anchoring. It's like all the ups and downs of life, all the tugs and pulls of life keep us balanced. We balance our lives through affirmations. We balance our lives with prayer. We balance our lives with giving. We balance our lives with service. Anchoring in God means you're living a life in which all the ebbs and flows do not take away your main position. When a boat anchors, think about it. When a boat anchors, that thing goes down to the ocean floor, but the boat isn't really static. The boat keeps, going with the waves and moving around, and sometimes the current takes it this way, and then sometimes it takes it all the way out, and where the bow of the boat was in one position, but then it's still in the same place. Within movement, our goals need to be anchored in God and need to be flexible enough to stay in the same place, but to be able to move with the current, to not fight it. Anything that includes a fight within our goals weakens your possibilities of getting it done. It's not so much, I will not do this anymore. In that tug of war, you're going to lose. Believe me, you're going to lose. When you have that tug of war, I pull this way and you pull that way. Here, can somebody come over? You look, come on up. Yeah, come on. And pull one way and I pull the other way, and I promise you won't let me fall down and you won't fall down either, right? No, okay. But when we are, just pull your way. But don't give them your back. Yeah, let them see your pretty face. Pull your way. And I'm pulling this way. Where is our energy right now? Where is our energy right now?
In the middle.
It's in the middle. It's in the fight. 1 minus 1 equals 0. You're not moving anywhere if you continue to have to fight something in order to get your goals to do something. Your goals need all of your energy. My yin, my yang, my creative side, my logical side, my emotional side, my thinking side, my doing side, and my dreaming side. My goals need that we cooperate and move forward. I put all of my energy and my enthusiasm and my abilities towards achieving it, not towards fighting something. You can ask questions if you want. Okay. And I want you to start thinking about a goal that you would like us to go through all these 5 steps, okay? So the next thing I would like you to think about is that your goal, of course, has to be relevant. In the formula, SMART is for relevant. And of course, your goal has to be relevant. Why get it done anyway if you're going to do it? And make the effort, it's important and relevant. But more than that, I would like you to consider that your goals, when your goals are rooted in spirit, you have better chances of getting them to come through. Now think about roots and think about root system. Roots are what sustains a tree. Don't worry, I'm not going to take anything else off. It's just those lights. There are a lot of watts here. Roots sustain a tree. Now, the tree branches, the top of the tree, The extent of the branch cannot go beyond what the extent of the roots underneath can support. A tree like this, that has roots like this, cannot have a branch that gets to that side of the wall. It will grow roots parallel to the width of the tree. And its roots are going to grow deep as needed to support the top, as high as I go. Is this true, or am I making it up? Okay. Your dreams have to be rooted in God. You cannot expect to have this level of love in your life, all of this love. This canopy of that tree of yours goes from here to there. It covers this whole space. You cannot expect that unless your roots of love of God can support it. Or unless your roots of loving yourself can support the fruits of loving someone else. There is a direct proportional relationship between those two factors. Does that make sense? And so when your goals are rooted in spirit, when the roots of a tree absorb and convert. The roots of the tree pick up water and potassium and magnesium and nitrogen and all that good stuff that is down there. It sucks it up and becomes a leaf and a branch and a fruit and a whatever it is. Your goals need to absorb from God, from the metaphysical, in order to become the physical. If there's not enough water, it will not grow enough. If there's too much sand and not enough good dirt, all the nutrients in the dirt, it will go weak. Your dreams will grow. Your goals will come to fruition in direct proportion to what you feed your soul. What basic ingredients are you feeding into your life? And what basic ingredients do I need in order to produce what I want? Because if I want to grow tomatoes, I need to have a certain kind of fertilizer. But if I want to grow green beans, it's not the same I'm going to put in there. If I want to plant, let's suppose that I take a palm tree to Denver, Colorado. Is it going to grow okay? Is there anything wrong with Denver, or is there anything wrong with the palm tree? The combination of the two do not produce good fruit. That palm tree would need to be surrounded by some sort of greenhouse that will shelter it from the extreme cold. What is the weather around the tree of your goals? Is there coldness? Are you being nurtured by the love of God? Are you being nurtured in your life? Are you seeking enough joy and peace? Are you looking for the things that bring you peace? If you're going to nourish peace into your life because one of your goals says, I want to be at peace. What are you feeding your roots so that peace can be the result? You'll have better chances of having a remarkable goal because of your ability to absorb from the spirit within. Because the soil in your life is within you. The soil in your life is in your thoughts, in your emotions, and in your activities. Okay? And so the next thing on a SMART goal is the little acronym says T is for time-based. But I'm saying T is for Tita. No. I'm saying T, instead of time-based, I would like for you to think of in terms of timely. Time-based produces a stressor. It's like, I have to have it done by March 31st. Except for taxes, nothing in life should be time-based. I like to think a little bit more in terms of divine order, timely. Nobody wants a baby to be born before the 9 months. I don't care how much you want that baby. I don't want it at 3 months, at 4, at 5, at 6, 7.5, or 8. I don't even want it at 8.5. Because those last 15 days are timeliness, divine order. So we want our goals to have a timely idea, a thoughtful idea. And most of all, we want our goals to have a part of you in which your truth is expressing. Is it part of your mission? Is it part of something that you say, wow, that this is something that is a calling of mine? Is that goal attached to it? See, you have to have sort of like an attitude, if I might say so. You have to have an attitude of, I deserve it. But more than I deserve it, you have to have an attitude that this is mine. This is my truth expressing, and it's got to be mine. If you loaned your car to a friend of yours says, well, you know, you have an SUV and I don't, and I'm moving, and if you could just loan me your car for a day or two so that I could get this done, and then I'll bring it back. And you say, sure, here's my SUV, and I'll drive your car, and then in 2 days' time, you bring it back. And then 3 days go by and no car, and 4 days go by, no car. 5 days go by, no car. I don't know about you, but I would be there. And I'm going to be there at that house saying, would you please give me my car back? I'm going to be there with an attitude of, give me my car. Right? You know it is yours. You're not begging. You're not pleading. You're not, it's like, give me my car. I need it now. I don't care whether you finished or not. I want my car. Can you have that attitude about your goals? I want this, and it is mine, and I deserve it. You'll have that attitude when your truth is expressing. When you know this is what I was meant to do. When you know this is what I'm meant to be. This is what God wants me to do in this relationship. This is how God wants me to act here at work. This is how God wants me to treat my body. When you know that you're being an instrument of God, when you know that you are being the expression of the divine power that moves through you as intuition, motivation, revelation, inspiration, creativity, when you know that is, give it to me. This is not about begging or pleading God. It's about knowing that as your truth is expressing, you will be absolutely guaranteed of the results. Napoleon Hill, the famous Think and Grow Rich book. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desires bring weak results, just as a small amount of fire makes a small amount of heat. I don't know how much heat or how much fire you want, but I want it all. I don't want to settle for less. And neither should you. You should just get your mind so aligned with God that you know you are an expression of the divine that must achieve that which you wrote down in your list, because that you're the one who interpreted whatever God is saying to you. No one else should set your goals for you. So now that you have set them up, then know that the Spirit of the living, loving presence is going to be there for you. You are co-creating with God. There is nothing on your list that you created out of yourself or by yourself or from yourself. anything that you desire is the Spirit of the living, loving presence we call the Christ within. That love, that life, that light of God, illumining your intellect, enlightening you, inspiring you, motivating you to look at something differently, to establish the awareness of a possibility. It isn't you, it's God that talked to you. You think it's your goal, that's when the ego separates from the personality, by the way. When you think your goals are your goals and you disassociate them from God, not a good thing. We need to keep them anchored, keep them rooted, keep them inspired, keep our God-given attributes motivated, and that's how you'll make it happen. So I'm open to questions if you have any.